The Irish crime network known as the Kinahan cartel has long been named as a top global narco threat, and that kind of accolade brings heat from both rivals and police. It would make for a strange existence, balancing money and influence while glancing over a shoulder for a bullet or a badge. But you wouldn't know it from the look of ease and the public profile of the alleged but unproven and unconvicted head, Daniel Kinahan, an Irishman living in Dubai. His profile as a sports businessman was publicly boosted in recent days by both a government minister and a leading boxing official. But the so-called Kinahan cartel was also dealing with this.
I'm arresting you on suspicion between November 2016 and October 2017, conspiring to import and supply Class A and B controlled drugs, conspiring to import...
The mob reporter here with news of the downfall of what police say is the Kinahan cartel's top man in Britain. This is footage of his arrest at an airport in 2019. It's been a long slog to get from there to where we are today, which is finally seeing conviction and sentencing for this narco, once branded untouchable. Let me tell you about it. The man billed as the Kinahan network's top man in Britain has fallen. His name is Thomas Kavanagh, originally from Dublin, Ireland, nicknamed Bomber. On March 28, 2022, the 54-year-old Kavanagh was sentenced to 21 years in prison for a drug importing conspiracy and money laundering. When Kavanagh heard his sentence in court, he blew a kiss to his family. He might as well kiss the better part of the rest of his life away. Sentenced alongside him were two underlings, Gary Vickery, 39, and Daniel Canning, 43. Vickery was Kavanagh's number 2, nicknamed Jelly. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison. And Canning, Vickery's son-in-law, was nicknamed Smiley. He traveled across Europe keeping an eye on the firm's activities. He was given 19.5 years in prison. All are Dublin-born, extending the Irish crime group's reach into Britain. Together, it's a significant catch for the cops. The trio ran a commercial-scale smuggling network bringing cocaine and cannabis into Britain. Their modus operandi was hiding dope inside industrial machinery being imported into Britain. Money then moved out in return. Prosecutors called it a carousel, a near-constant cycle of drugs in and money out. Police captured emails and text messages between the three, some sent using EncroChat, an encrypted communication app used by criminals that was cracked by authorities. Some messages were in code, others seemed to just be semi-literate. I can only imagine an English judge trying to make heads or tails out of this. The end for Kavanagh started where his career began. Police in Dublin seized documents during a probe in 2017 that revealed the name of a freight company in England. A large stash of guns was seized then, including a submachine gun and an assault rifle. This was at a time the cartel was embroiled in a deadly gangland feud. And 3 people were arrested, including Declan Brady, an Irish gangster with the great nickname Mr. Nobody, because Irish cops didn't know who he was until he was a pallbearer at a gangland funeral for a Kinahan associate. The Irish tip nudged a UK investigation. In October 2017, a 6-ton asphalt removal machine arrived at the port of Dover. When police tracked it down, hidden inside were 15 kilos of cocaine and 200 kilos of cannabis. If that's not criminal enough, on the packages they used logos of Manchester United Football Club. That's a storied soccer team. For some, that's sacrilege. The machine was being sent to a warehouse in Wolverhampton, near Birmingham, the UK's second largest city. Police found a GPS tracker attached to it. It seems Kavanagh didn't trust anyone. Instead of a drug-packed machine arriving, it was an NCA team raiding 3 industrial units. At one unit, police found the shell of a lead-lined transformer. It still had traces of cocaine inside, along with a gun. That led to Vickery's home nearby. There they found barrels of boric acid, a powder often used as a cutting agent to dilute cocaine for street sale. Also found was a large stash of cash, and a cash counting machine. Vickery was arrested in the Canary Islands and extradited to the UK. A raid on Canning's house turned up encrypted phones and cash. The phone revealed that their code name for Kavanagh was the Gaffer, an English term for the boss. As for Kavanagh, his home was a luxury mansion in Tamworth, 14 miles northeast of Birmingham. Tamworth was once home to Sir Robert Peel, the father of modern policing. That's why, incidentally, English cops are called bobbies, after Robert Peel. In any event, Kavanagh knew how dangerous his line of work was. He spent grandly on fortification of his home, reinforced doors, bulletproof windows, security gates and cameras. Police raided the place after his airport arrest. There they found wads of cash and various currencies sprinkled around the house, stuffed in bags and in drawers, and even down the back of a sofa. Investigators found an illegal stun gun and a large array of other potential weapons, including knives, bats, and swords, but no firearms or drugs, which may have disappointed police. Kavanagh slept with some of the weapons at his side. All three pleaded guilty in 2020, but their sentencing was delayed, some of it by COVID and some by haggling over the plea deal. Police didn't catch much of Kavanagh's dope. The asphalt machine contained the first and the last known load that police got their hands on, but investigators analyzed communications and documents from Kavanagh's logistics company and traced past loads. Between October 2016 and October 2017, investigators said 22 previous imports likely brought in as much as 800 kilos of cannabis and 300 kilos of coke. Meanwhile, the alleged boss of the Kinahan group, Daniel Kinahan, remains free in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, a nation that doesn't have an extradition treaty with Ireland. Far from hiding in the shadows, though, he remains a public figure, even recently meeting with a provincial minister of sport from Pakistan, who tweeted photos from their meeting in this grand hotel. Kinahan has long been involved in boxing. He's been a major figure behind fighters and as a promoter. The president of the World Boxing Council also recently met with Kinahan in Dubai. Last week he wrote that although Kinahan has been labeled a person linked to criminal groups, the two had a great talk, and Kinahan had the president's full support. That line was later deleted from his post. It suggests Kinahan remains busy, as do police in Ireland and Britain. And now a rare and quick announcement from me to unveil my new Patreon service, where fans are invited to subscribe for bonus material and other perks. Visit patreon.com/themobreporter for all the details. Thank you, I'd appreciate it, and thanks for watching.